There are an estimated 47,000 of these people in America right now. By the end, you will know whether your date is one. Stay till 8 minutes. You're born as a normal child in a suburb known for its Target and its Olive Garden. Your first memory isn't a birthday. It's seeing the wine section at Costco and feeling a vague sense of destiny. At age 5, you tell your kindergarten teacher you prefer a crisp finish. She asks if you mean crayons. You nod solemnly. Your parents buy a $9.99 bottle of Pinot Grigio for a barbecue. You watch your uncle open it with a shoe. A small, irreparable crack forms in your soul. The journey has begun. Your childhood is a blur of misapplied vocabulary. Other kids describe juice as yummy. You describe your Capri Sun as having strong notes of artificial passion fruit with a viscous, almost syrupy mouthfeel. You are 8. At a family friend's wedding, you are allowed a sip of champagne. You swirl it in the plastic flute. You announce it has gone flat. The bride's uncle tells you to go play in the parking lot. You spend the rest of the reception reading the back labels of the wine bottles lined up on the gift table. You determine the Merlot is pedestrian. You do not know what pedestrian means. Your parents take you to Applebee's for your 12th birthday. You order the chicken tenders. The waiter asks if you want a Coke. You ask to see the wine list. The waiter, whose name tag reads Steve, blinks slowly. He says they have a house red and a house white. You ask about the vintage, the region, the varietal. Steve says the vintage is Tuesday. The region is a box in the back. The varietal is red. You accept a Coke. You spend the meal explaining to your younger sister how the oaky undertones in the barbecue sauce are masking a flawed tomato base. She is playing Minecraft on her phone. She does not look up. And just like that, you reach the most insufferable period of being a wine bar sommelier in training. You're a teenage sommelier in training. Other teenagers sneak cheap vodka. You sneak a single bottle of your parents' mid-tier Malbec to a house party. You spend 45 minutes explaining the terroir of Mendoza, Argentina, to a group of people waiting to play beer pong. One of them takes the bottle from your hands, unscrews the cap because it's a screw cap, and pours it directly into a red Solo cup filled with ice and Diet Coke. You witness this act of violence. You leave the party. You go home and write a 1-star Yelp review for a house you've never been invited to again. You get a part-time job at a local vineyard's tasting room. Your title is Hospitality Associate. You interpret this as Apprentice Sommelier. You correct customers on their pronunciation of Gewürztraminer. You tell a man from Ohio that his preference for sweet wine is a culinary security blanket. He asks for the manager. The manager is a 22-year-old named Chad who got the job because his dad owns the land. Chad tells you to pour the wine and say cheers. You consider this a demotion. You have never been promoted. Comment terroir below if this is hitting too close to home. You enroll in a community college hospitality course. The textbook is from 2003. It refers to Australia as an up-and-coming wine region. Your final project is a paired menu for a theoretical restaurant. You pair a $120 bottle of Burgundy with a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. You write a 1,000-word essay on the briny salinity of the patty cutting through the wine's minerality. You get a C+. The professor's note reads, creative but impractical. You frame the paper, you hang it above your bed. You tell your 3 Tinder matches about it on the first date. You have 0 second dates. You have a framed C+. Your high school graduation gift is a wine encyclopedia. It weighs 14 pounds. You carry it with you to college orientation. You try to use it to break the ice with your roommate. He is from Nebraska. He brought a mini fridge full of Mountain Dew Code Red. You explain the difference between Old World and New World wine regions. He asks if New World includes Nebraska. You say no. He says cool and puts on headphones. You spend freshman year alone in your dorm room reading about Bordeaux appellations. Your social life has the tannic structure of a wine that hasn't aged yet, bitter and astringent. You declare a major in hospitality management with a minor in viticulture. Your parents tell their friends you're studying the business of wine. This is technically true. Your first college party, you bring a bottle of Prosecco. You spend 20 minutes explaining the Charmat method to a group of students doing keg stands. One of them, a business major named Kyle, takes the bottle from you. He shakes it violently and sprays it all over the room like a Formula One victory celebration. You stand there dripping as the room cheers. You do not smile. You calculate the loss of bubbles per second. It is substantial. And then you become an adult with the tasting notes in full bloom. You land a job at a trendy wine bar called the Corkscrew. Your official duty is to bus tables. Your unofficial duty, as you see it, is to ambush paying customers. A couple on a first date orders the house Cabernet. You bring it, then linger. You ask if they can detect the hint of saddle, leather, and regret. The man says it tastes like wine. You sigh. You return with a notepad and draw a diagram of the tongue's flavor zones. The woman asks for the check. They leave a 10% tip. You blame the wine's finish. You develop a signature move. When someone orders a glass of Pinot Noir, you say, "Ah, the heartbreak grape." You say this every single time. You have said it to the same regular Greg 17 times. Greg works in HVAC. He just wants a drink. On your 23rd attempt, Greg looks you dead in the eyes and says, "It's a grape that makes wine. My heart is fine. The check, please." You are crushed. You go to the walk-in cooler and whisper tasting notes to the boxes of Sauvignon Blanc. They are better listeners. Subscribe so you can keep crying about people you've definitely met. You start a wine Instagram. Your handle is @terroir-teller. Your posts are close-ups of wine in glasses with captions like, "This Chardonnay spent 9 months in French oak. I have spent 9 months in this apartment." You get 38 followers, 29 are other wine accounts, 5 are bots, 4 are your relatives. Your most engaged with post is a story poll asking Brettanomyces, funky character or unforgivable flaw. 2 people vote, both choose flaw. You consider this a vibrant debate. You screenshot the results and post them to your story. No one views it. Your dating life is a series of TripAdvisor reviews you never asked for. You take a Hinge date to a natural wine bar. You spend 20 minutes explaining the philosophy of nothing added, nothing taken away. She asks if that includes conversation. You miss the hint. You order a skin contact orange wine that smells like a barnyard. She says it smells like a barnyard. You say, "Exactly, that's the funky, natural expression." She excuses herself to the restroom. You see her leave through the front door on the security monitor above the bar. You finish the bottle. It pairs well with humiliation. You decide to get certified. You spend $900 on a level 1 sommelier course. The exam includes blind tasting 2 wines. You practice for months. The big day arrives. The first wine is a Sauvignon Blanc. You detect grapefruit, grass, and a subtle hint of cat pee. You are correct about all 3. You feel a surge of power. The second wine is a red. You swirl, sniff, sip. You declare with confidence a left bank Bordeaux, likely a 2016, with strong cassis and pencil lead notes. The examiner nods. He reveals the bottle. It's $11.99 Cabernet from Trader Joe's, vintage 2021. You fail the practical. You pass the theory. You are now a certified theorist. You move in with a roommate to save money. He is a software engineer. He drinks White Claw. You institute a no bad wine in the house rule. He brings home a box of Franzia. You have a 3-hour conversation about respect. He moves the box to his bedroom. You can sense its presence through the wall. It haunts you. You start leaving printouts about the dangers of oxidation on the fridge. He uses them as grocery lists. Your shared life is a Cold War fought over beverage choices. Comment Brettanomyces below if your roommate is the problem. You attempt to monetize your passion. You start a YouTube channel called Vino Veritas. Your first video is a 32-minute deep dive into the proper angle for pouring a tasting flight. You get 72 views. 40 are from your mom, who watches it on loop to help your analytics. The comments are 2 questions about the camera you use and 1 person asking if you've reviewed Barefoot Moscato. You make a video responding to the barefoot query. It is 17 minutes long. You describe it as the liquid embodiment of a participation trophy. You get a copyright strike from the brand. Your channel is demonetized. Years pass. You are 34. You still work at the Corkscrew. Chad sold the bar to a tech bro who rebrands it as Grapes Unzipped. The new menu includes wine flights paired with NFT JPEGs on iPads. Your expertise is now a quirky antiquity like a fax machine. New hires half your age explain blockchain wine provenance to you. They use words like tokenized tannins. You realize you have spent 15 years memorizing the difference between Saint-Emilion and Pomerol for an audience that now cares about ethanol content in their hard seltzer. The world has moved on. Your tasting notes have not. Your decline is quiet, like a bottle of wine left open on the counter. You move from the wine bar to a corporate hotel chain's restaurant. The wine list is 1 page laminated between the burgers and the desserts. A guest asks for a bold red. You bring the house Cabernet. They ask what it's like. You open your mouth, you close it. You say, "It's red and it's wine." The guest seems satisfied. This is the greatest moment of peace you have ever experienced at work. You have achieved enlightenment through surrender. You have become Steve from Applebee's. You get married. Your partner is lovely. They work in marketing. They enjoy a nice glass of wine. They do not enjoy a 45-minute lecture on malolactic fermentation. On your honeymoon in Napa, you book a private tasting at a famous vineyard. The sommelier, a woman with 20 years of experience, asks what you think of the wine. You launch into a prepared monologue about the soil composition. She listens patiently, then she smiles and says, or you could just say you like it. You are stunned into silence. For the first time, you just sip the wine, you like it. It is a revelation as profound as it is simple. Your legacy is a 1-star Yelp review you wrote in 2015 for a pizza place that served wine in water glasses. The review is 4 paragraphs long. It uses the word stemware 7 times. It has 1 helpful vote. That vote is from your own account, which you forgot you were logged into. Years later, a line cook at that pizza place, now a sous chef at a real restaurant, finds the review. He reads it aloud to his kitchen staff for a laugh. They howl. Your magnum opus, your most passionate work, has found its audience. It is a punchline during family meal. The circle of life is complete. All jokes aside, these are exaggerations. Internet caricatures born on social media and spread like wildfire. Yes, the performative obsession with niche knowledge is real, but turning the wine enthusiast in training into a universal punchline reduces real people to a single stereotype. Most people who are passionate about wine or coffee or cheese or any craft are genuinely curious individuals trying to find depth and connection in a complicated world. Behind every meme is a real person doing their best, often just overcompensating for insecurity or seeking a sense of identity. So laugh at the absurdity, but remember that everyone's journey to find their thing is valid, even if that thing involves arguing about cork versus screw cap.